Um, Calling meeting to order because we were without a quorum. Is Dina aware that we have a quorum now? Jim?
But this,
I can go let her know.
this
Okay.
is,
Yeah, we
what you're
gotta
doing
wait.
is, we just calling it together. for
We are
everybody
calling it
then.
together because we've posted the warning for the 4:30
You
meeting.
can call and go to executive session.
Yeah, right, that's what we're gonna do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but first, and I'm going to wait and ask for approval of the minutes till we have the association here with us. We have public comments, there are no public comments, and I want to go into executive session.
Here's Jackie, comes Jackie.
Hey, good, now we're really going. That's okay. Yeah, we didn't have a quorum for a while, and then Dave walked in, and now we're one
Well,
over.
I told you I'd be late.
Yes, you did, but I didn't, anyway. We're all set. So we have a motion to go into executive session. Do we have a second?
So moved.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Very good.
Aye.
Let's go on, we'll go into.
Okay.
Back into open session.
So moved. Second.
Have a second to it. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'd like to have a motion to approve the minutes of, let's see, we didn't meet, did we meet in January?
Skip the last
Okay.
meeting, now they go back.
January 31st.
So moved.
Have a
Second
second?
it.
Any questions from the association on the minutes? Did you all get a copy of them?
Yes.
Good. Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? We did go into executive session. We are opening the meeting, and I'm going to pass it on to Dina.
Thank you. We had left here last time where you all had made a proposal, and we said that we were going to come back with a response to the proposal, a counter proposal. We have one of those. There are some items I'd like to sort of make sure that we have clarity on when we're moving forward, based on some of the questions that have been asked from you all about some information. One was the question regarding retirements and how many people were retiring. I think you have been provided the number from the Human Resources Department. What you need to also understand is that those numbers and the way your contract is structured, that notice of retirement is given prior to budgets being finalized. And so all of the retirements have in fact been factored into the budgets that were just voted on Tuesday. So those budgets reflect not having those individuals present at that level of pay and in those positions. The other issue is a significant issue that we think bears mentioning, which is that, as you all are aware, that there are increases in the premiums on the health insurance. We wanted to make sure that we were very upfront about what those costs are. We know that there are individual increased costs to teachers as well, but we also wanted to put out there so that you had an idea of what those costs are for the district, for the teachers' bargaining unit solely. So it's not looking at your support staff, your central office staff, or any off-contract people. The increase over the premium cost from the increase going forward for next year is going up $350,000, which is a 9.4% increase. What that translates to in the budgets that were just dealt with at town meeting day is that adds 1.75% to the budget. And so those are not minimal costs. They're things that, as we've had discussions, that the board takes into account the overall financial package that is being offered to teachers, and also balancing that out with being fiscally responsible to their constituents. So the board's counter proposal to what you all presented, which I think we left it at, it was 4.84%, I believe, roughly. It was a 2.99% to the base, and you also were talking about steps. And the board had been at 2.99 overall. The board is proposing a 3.25% increase. We are, however, providing that there are two options that we have come up with, because we know that there's some tension in terms of where this money should be allocated. It can be the STEP, which, as we've discussed, is a little bit over $1,500. A step increase, the step increase for everybody who is eligible for a step increase, plus 1.375%. Or the other way of reaching the 3.25% was step plus 1%, plus $768 for those 95 people who are at step 20. When I talk about, as I mentioned, the health increase, I think that it's important to note that our previous proposal regarding giving the $250 amount to those 95 people who are at step 20 ensured that everyone was getting an increase, that no one was having a negative because of what the increased share was for you individually for your health insurance. So you are still with the board's proposals, especially in light of the one, if we look at, for those who are at step 20 in all of the columns, the step plus 1% plus $768, we are covering not only the health increase share, which you all will be incurring, we are also way above the CPI index. So that is where we're at. We're hopeful that there's some movement from you all down from your 4.84, obviously, which is not, from the board's perspective, a number which is feasible.
And Dina, am I correct in assuming that the 768 would be similar to the 250 and how it would be dispersed?
And how it would be dispersed. I think we can talk about what the dispersal is. I think the.
But in that, it's a one-time,
Yes.
It's a one-time, yes, yeah. I'm sorry, I wasn't.
No, I didn't phrase that.
I wasn't clear with you.
Do you have a question?
No, I mean, I think we just have to meet with and kind of talk it over. Do you guys have anything written, or is this just like the verbal present?
I could send a grid if it would be, I could email a grid if it would be helpful.
I think it would be helpful to look at.
Right, so it's.
We can go back and we can look at it, do that.
We can look at it and we can send it out to you. So, for those who are going to be getting the step, you're talking about roughly over $2,200. It's actually more than that when you factor in the 1% as well, which is increasing it out. So it's over $2,200 as an increase for those individuals. But we can send you the grid on that, if that helps you.
Yep.
So just so I'm clear on what we're processing here, you've given us two options. Door number one is 3.25, essentially new money. That's it. I don't mean that's it, but that's the long and short of it. And door number two is step plus 1%. And in addition to that, 768 for the people at the top over the course of just this year.
Yeah, we talked about the 95.
Just those 95 folks, yep.
Right, there are
Okay.
32 of you who are at the final column at the top step, and then
Yep.
there are more. So this is how we're saying, from our perspective, that it seems that there are the two major disbursement methods. If there is another disbursement that falls within the 3.25, that makes sense to you all, and that obviously a different disbursement we would be looking at. But we were trying to provide both, where we're talking about putting the 1.375 as an increase, or then whether or not we were also addressing those 95 people, giving those options of, we recognize that there may be some tension there about about those 95 people and whether or not they'd be getting additional funds besides the 1.375% increase.
Okay. Appreciate the acknowledgement.
Dina or Nick, or can you guys just, where did that 768, I mean, it seems like 250 makes sense to me, like, it's like, oh, that's a round number. 768 seems like just a,
It's actually based upon your cohort, is how it works out.
so could you explain?
Right, is
how-
that-
Yeah, basically, we took 3.25%, we calculated what a 1% increase in step would cost, and then that leftover money is divided by 95, comes out to $768.
Right. Nick had told me to say 750, but obviously, obviously, you know, the $18, I felt that we should have some recognition regarding the $18 as well, just so that we had the accurate number out there. So I don't know if you want, if there are any other questions?
I don't have.
Go ahead, it's Megan's question.
Would so like the 1.375 or the 1%, whichever one, is that an increase on the base salary or is that an increase like at each level? It's an increase on the base.
Base,
Okay.
all increases are on the base.
Okay.
Right, which then translates.
Yeah, okay.
Right. That's why I'm saying to you that if you're somebody who is on step 20 in the second one that we're talking about.
Yeah, no, I got that, yeah.
So, are there any other questions?
Would you like us then to prepare, just so you have something in writing to go over, and we can go back and do
Well, I
that,
think
and Nick
Nick's
can
gonna-
send it
Nick
to
can
you?
just,
Nick is gonna-
if you can email it,
Sufficient,
like,
then send- we could
Actually,
print as
email it
well.
to Neil.
Neil, you got Neil on there. Send it to
Yeah, email it to
him.
Neil.
Hogan, he's going downstairs. Put it on his computer.
Then I don't have to.
There you go.
Okay, so does that work? We've got that worked out?
yeah.
Just send it to me.
Okay. So, we need a motion?
Yes.
If there are no
Well-
motions?
Well, we're going to go back into executive session, I think, unless, if there are no other questions. So I'd entertain a motion for the negotiating team to go back into executive session.
So moved.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Very good, so we'll,
So, Tim, I think we can maybe caucus